Greetings and salutations, good friends, and welcome to Blades in Paradise. My name is Dr. Winston Thoreau, and I will be your guide to the perils and pleasures of our paradise amidst the post-apocalyptic Pacific Northwest. Now, we'll get to the chicanery and shenanigans momentarily, but before we do, allow me to deliver some news. Blades in Paradise is an actual play podcast run in John Harper's Blades in the Dark, and we're sponsored by the developer Evil Hat Games. Use code BARDROCK10 at checkout to save on your order. Bard Rock Network is sponsored by Dragon Master Games. Visit dragonmastergames.com for all your CCG, TCG, TTRPG, and miniature game needs. If you enjoyed the stories we tell, you can tip us on Ko-fi or visit us at patreon.com/bardrockcafe. By sponsoring the network, you not only help us provide an ever-expanding library of shows, but gain access to bonus content, the network Discord, quarterly backer games with the network community, and an annual swag bag. Now, without further ado, let's join Lizzie, Sterling, and Max, as well as myself, the crew of ESPN. Enjoy.
Blades in Paradise is a dystopian story intended for adults. These stories intentionally address challenging topics that might not be suitable for all ears. This campaign includes content warnings for gun violence, child endangerment, animal cruelty, unintentional misgendering of a non-binary person, substance use, and graphic descriptions of injuries, including the eyes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to Blades in Paradise, where I am so relieved we didn't have to roleplay out the players slaughtering a bunch of heavily armed Chihuahua puppies because I always yes-and the bit. I'm Paul, the Blades daddy of Campaign 1, apparently. As always, I'm joined by my Blades children.
Shocked in the heart, a ghost's to blame. I'm down one dice for this game. It's Dr. Winston Thoreau, everybody. Hi, I'm Jim. I play Dr. Winston Thoreau. I am the whisperer of a particular party. And a fun fact about Dr. Winston Thoreau is that he has hugged a ghost before. He has cuddled with a ghost before, but he has never once before had a ghost plunge its hand into his chest in an attempt to rip his heart out. So he is, quite frankly,
Definitely shocked.
not sure if he's dying. Might be, maybe, question mark.
Hello, I am Justin. I play Maximilian Graves, the scoundrel old man, and, let's see, shock to the heart, and I believe Winston is to blame. But Sterling gives love a bad name. An interesting thought about Mr. Graves is, and I've said this before, that's not his real name. And if you get a chance, and if he survives this, you may actually find out his name is actually Joseph Dunman. Dun dun dun! Man.
His ex-wife is actually Janie Finished Woman.
She's from Finland, so it works. Yeah.
A little on the nose.
Hi, I'm Queenie. I play Lizzie, the hound, with my trusted hound beside me, Shadow. And despite everybody's thinking that he is a German Shepherd or something, he is actually just a golden Labrador retriever. But he's a gorgeous dog and loves his mama and will do anything to save her.
So not Shadow the Edge Dog?
No, that's yours.
Shadow does love his mama, so I have two follow-up questions. Does he love Jesus? And does he love America too?
He don't love Jesus, but he loves America.
Or your boyfriend too?
No. Garth Brooks, though.
Is he crazy about Elvis?
I can't tell if Queenie is playing it super straight or doesn't get the references to John Mellencamp.
I do.
That's not John Milliken.
Oh,
What?
apparently I'm an idiot. Okay.
What?
Yeah, oh, Tom Petty, there we go.
He's free!
Oh, you're free falling now.
Anyway, Riley, please save me from my embarrassment.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I play Sterling, steampunk puncher of evil who's not like the other tanks. Sterling's mom can't spell worth shit, but she used to be annoying, but now they're kind of for it. Short and sweet this week.
Last time, you experienced some trippy shared hallucination flashbacks. after escaping the gas chamber, and then managed to deal with a swarm of chihuahuas wielding small swords to complete the 51st floor. You made it to the 52nd floor, where you can see the entire floor after the stairwell is an underwater facility you'll have to swim through, with a warning to watch out for the, quote, Clockodiles. Before we resume the action, I do want to inform the audience that, in addition to our show's normal content warnings, this episode is going to have content warnings for possible drowning and/or asphyxiation. That being said, do any of you have anything you want to do before you proceed through the airlock?
Is it consensual asphyxiation or drowning?
No.
There's nothing automatic or erotic about this act. It's strictly the kind that will kill you dead as a doornail.
Well, that's what you think.
I'm not one to kink shame. That being said, gross.
It's not about the kink, it's about Max.
I'm not gonna kink shame you, but I'm shaming you.
It's not shameful for you. You can enjoy it all you want. I still think it's gross.
It's regular shame.
I encourage your right to participate in your kinks.
We're doing a good job prepping here.
Lizzie pulls the carton of juice out.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Whoa, Lizzie. Are you sure about that?
I would like to ask one question.
What's it?
Who gave her that?
She
You
stole it
did.
approximately 6 episodes ago.
Yeah.
She was the last person to take it after everyone took it from Sterling.
Lizzie?
You're arguing
Yes,
with Max.
and I can't believe I'm saying this because it makes me feel like a narc.
Is it worth it?
This is an order. Please give that back to Sterling. I would appreciate it if your heart did not explode within your chest.
Lizzie takes it.
Alright.
We're in no immediate danger. What are you doing?
She's doing it.
Alright, does anybody make any physical effort to stop Lizzie from drinking the anabolic steroid cocaine juice?
Oh no, I am still eating the imaginary popcorn from last episode.
Probably gonna regret this, but I don't think I am gonna
Alright.
try to stop her.
I can't physically move at this point because I'm currently clutching my chest and crying.
Alright, Queen, you're gonna do a couple of things. Add 1 dot to both skirmish and wreck as you become jacked as fuck immediately. Like, it is unnatural how fast you bulk up. It's like Popeye popping a can of spinach in his mouth. That's how fast you bulk up.
Fuck.
Oh my, reminds me of my honeymoon.
You're also going to take 2 traumas immediately.
Also my honeymoon.
Vicious and what?
Which one?
Vicious and reckless.
And reckless. Okay.
Reckless Lizzie. We can't.
Now, Paul, why don't you let us know, how do traumas function in Blades of the Dark?
You now have a core alteration to your personality that you have to dwell on and expand on. It is meant to inform the role play. So Lizzie is now a roid-raging asshole.
Fuck. As opposed to when?
However, Lizzie, go ahead and roll 1d to see how well your body handles taking these steroids, like, in general. Just
1.
you're going to take 2 stress from the pressure it causes on your heart as it pumps out all of this stuff through your entire body.
No, Lizzie, do we get to have a little show of how this changes your body?
Can you explain it to us?
You notice that my muscles start to bulk up a little bit in my forearms. And then you also notice that the veins in my head start to pop out while my blood is being pumped through. The rest of it's under a skirt, so you don't see anything.
Are we talking old school She-Hulk or new TV She-Hulk?
We're talking a She-Hulk version of Lou Ferrigno's Hulk, where the clothes all tear at the seams.
The old school.
Lizzie's deaf now?
Yes.
No. Lizzie just grew in clothes that weren't meant to stretch, so all of her clothes are torn at the seams, but are still functionally covering her body.
Mm-hmm.
When did you get purple pants?
They're my bloomers.
I will say that the steampunk pimp boy she's wearing is also making lots of danger sounds because it does not like what her vitals are doing.
Where did you get underwear? I thought none of us wore it except for Doc.
Bloomers
Oh,
are
that was
not
a
the
fact,
same
that's
as
right.
underwear.
Bloomers are different, you see. Bloomers keep the modesty of the ankles,
Oh,
and I do like a good ankle.
I'm learning about fashion.
Again, I'm not trying to kink shame you, but gross.
Calm down, Max.
Where bulges out to the sides, some varicose veins in it. Oh.
Well, that's what you're seeing right
I'm gonna have
now.
to schedule like 6 sessions with HR by the time that we get back. Ludicrous. How are we going to get this dog through?
So I'm just going to say, Queenie and I had an agreement that as long as she doesn't suicidally throw Shadow in danger, Shadow has plot armor. So you know how like it's Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Tails doesn't die no matter how often Sonic does? It's like that.
Even though he goes boom and then falls off the screen.
And then he comes back immediately like nothing happened. Shadow does not need to worry about breathing underwater, etc. Just don't mouth-to-mouth Shadow for air supply.
Like he has one of the Chaos Emeralds or something.
No, Shadow magically is fine. You all, however, you see a rack that clearly was meant to hold wetsuits and breathing apparatuses. It's empty.
Well, that's no good.
I've assigned you all an air clock for in here. Max and Winston have 4 segments. Lizzie was going to have 4, but since she took steroids, she now has 8. And Sterling has 8.
Sweet.
Queenie, can you do me a favor and please stop breathing out of your mouth? It's kind of scaring me and it's blowing my coat away. Could you and Sterling arm wrestle real quick?
Yes.
We don't
Sure.
have time for arm wrestling.
It'll be quick. I just need to establish dominance.
Shadow barks and pulls out a folding table for you all to arm wrestle on.
Thank you,
Where
Shadow.
did the
Challenge
dog
the
find
dog.
a table?
He's got a bag of holding in his stomach.
Stomach.
That's
No,
uncomfortable.
he just has a hammer space like all standard video game characters, which he's now emulating in name and function.
What do we roll to arm wrestle?
You're both going to roll skirmish.
3.
4.
Sterling narrowly slams Lizzie's arm down. Lizzie's not that used to these big bulky muscles.
Still the champ.
Yeah, well, still second place, but
I thought Victor Lord was the champ, actually.
Shh, don't
Watch your
ruin it for
fucking
them.
mouth.
Well, I get back to him and wrestle him.
You're not going to be able to beat Victor Lord unless we can get through here. So let's make a move on.
you're a crack on the radio. Did you say my name, boss?
Victor, no, we were just talking about arm wrestling. We're not quite ready for you yet.
Okay, cool. We're getting some dirty looks. I think a couple of people in the train station might have made us, but they look more scared than they look like snitches.
If you see any danger start to come up and you think that you need to move, make a move and let us know.
Will do, boss.
I trust your judgment.
I trust you to give them all stitches.
I like you, old-timer.
All right, let's do this.
I'm going to step into the airlock.
Alright, so you step into the airlock. You see a map of the floor layout. You see that in order to access the airlock on the far side of the floor, you need to release 4 pressure valves located in the 4 corners of the facility that takes up this entire floor of this high-rise building. You see some notes scrawled beside the floor map indicate the valves have a timed release and reset if all 4 of them aren't activated within about 30 seconds of each other or less. So if you try and activate them one at a time, unless one of you can swim like a bat out of fucking hell, they're going to reset, so you have to be in 4 places at once. Good thing there are 4 of you.
I think that I'm probably the scrawniest, especially now. So could I get one of you, larger individuals, not you, Winston, to, maybe give me a hand by shuttling me through to the other side as hard as you can without breaking my hip?
But like a fastball special?
But underwater, yes.
Yeah, we could, drop you off on the way to the farther ones.
I mean, either way.
Why don't one of you bring Max across the way? I'll leave Ames behind to trigger one of the valves back here. I'll start making my way across, and then Lizzie can beat across as well once she's triggered a valve.
Hey, Doc, I don't know if you remember this, Paul saying above game. Ames was seriously injured in your stunts last episode and is no condition to do commands for you.
I thought he was only minor injured. Okay.
Yeah, no, like, he's not after dead, but he needs to recharge. You're probably not going to be able to use him for the duration of this heist now.
I'm out of ideas.
Irresponsible ghost keeping. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. There's 4 of us, 4 valves. We can do this. Let's see. What do I have on me? I have some dead rats. We can blow those up a little bit. Just like mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, or if any of you have seen that ogre movie with the 2 lovebirds and they blow up the animals like balloons. Something of that nature.
As Max finishes saying that, you hear tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. And you look through the windows of the airlock and you see a bunch of alligators with some sort of crocodiles. Not alligators, they are actually different species. You see them and they have like these weird steampunk apparatus kind of like strapped around their midsection where like a chest arguably would be if they're anthropomorphic. You're not sure what they were trying to do to improve on the already deadly design of an alligator with steampunk cybernetics, but it can't be good. And they swim away and you hear the tick-tock get a little further away.
I'm going to assume those are bombs strapped to their chest, which would be the only thing I could think of to improve on such a primordial prey catcher as a crocodile. So maybe we should hurry up.
Okay, yeah.
Speaking of hurrying up, for the audience, if anybody air clock is exceeded, what you're going to do is you're going to take your choice at the time of 2 stress or a 1 level of whatever available harm you currently have for each segment you cannot fill. So those air clocks are going to tick up based on some rolls you do while you're maneuvering through the water. Try not to die. Do you have any further planning beyond Max is going to either be swum over to the furthest one or swim to the nearest one and be fetched later?
If I can't rely on Ames, I would like to compel and to try to get a ghost from somewhere else in the building, maybe from the floor above. Just utilize my special ability.
Roll to attune to the ghost field.
And I'm down a dice, so I'm down to 1 here. That's a 4.
You can sense there are no untethered ghosts anywhere in this building. It's almost like this building is owned by a mastermind who specializes in spirit controlling and is using them for experiments. Each one of them is in some sort of container akin to a spirit bottle or something. You do detect something weird. You detect like a seriously injured soul in the floor above you. The soul has been like shredded and cut and scarred in a way that like it's very concerning how injured this soul is. It's a healed kind of way. Not like those melted souls you saw in Paradise. This like has scarring, but it's still a whole soul.
I can't find anything here. I'm supposed to be able to have someone come help. Okay, I'm all alone except for the 4 of you. Shadow. I'm counting you, Shadow. What are we doing?
I'm sure he appreciates that.
He comes up for pets.
You can get one of the ghosts of the cops you guys off, because those guys would not have been routed into anything. So you have a cop who's kind of pissed off that you summoned him. With a 4, he's like, why the fuck should I help you?
We murdered him.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? You murdered me. Why am I gonna help you?
I shot 2 in the head.
Lizzie, you're not helping.
Don't you want us to leave?
The afterlife can be a good place or a bad place, and if you can do a favor for me, then quite possibly I can do a favor for you. One day. Friend. Please?
With a 4, you're not sure how good a help he'll be. He says he's gonna help you. This game doesn't have an equivalent insight. You feel like you might need to keep an eye on him.
Okay, let's make a deal. hang by my side, and if I get into trouble, just try to find an air pocket or something.
Yeah, sure. That's much more reasonable than me putting, like, if there's fucking electric alligators in there. Yeah, that's much better.
You're a ghost. You're not gonna get damaged. You're already dead. What difference does it make?
He, like, holds his hand up. He's like little electric sparks. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm made of electricity. And that lines up very well with everything you know about souls being the power source of all the machinery in this world. Yes, an electric alligator could probably hurt him.
I've been working on this story for years, and he just tweeted it out.
I mean, he does have the unique insight of being made of the thing he's observing. That was also just me being very tongue-in-cheek about saying, yes, the alligator can hurt him.
Okay.
It felt better than above game no butting you.
Enjoy what you're hearing? Rate us on your favorite podcatcher. Reviews on platforms like Apple, Spotify, or Good Pods help new listeners find our content. It's a completely free way to support the show. Thanks for listening.
Christina, I'm all caught up in my favorite actual play podcasts. What should I do?
All of them? Even my podcast, Agents of Damned?
That's right. Your show's excellent, but I'm up to date on that one too. I'm not sure what to check out next.
Yeah, I know. There's just so many excellent actual play productions out there, it can be overwhelming to choose one.
Not to worry, friends. I can make some recommendations.
Oh my gosh, it's multi-talented TTRPG actual play performer and professional musician Marty Balmer.
That's right. Just check out my new podcast, College of Whispers. We're the actual play book club that can help you find your new favorite production. Join me and my co-host Vicky every month as we review and analyze different productions in a spoiler-light format that's both entertaining and informative.
Wow, that sounds great. You don't just look at the big name productions, right?
Yeah, I feel like whenever I ask for podcast recommendations, the same handful of super popular mainstream shows is all I get suggestions for.
Not to fear, on College of Whispers, we look at a mix of big names and indie productions, so the scrappy up-and-coming shows can get their moment in the sun as well.
Well, I'm sold. I'm gonna go download College Whispers on my favorite podcatcher right now. Thanks, Marty.
Wait, Paul, we're part of the Bard Rock Network now. How is any of this news to you?
Give them a listen, everybody.
Everyone's taking a while, and Max is forgetting himself, so he's going to go, ooh, summertime. It's time to get into the pool, kids. Everybody in with the possible piranhas. Let's go.
All right. Lizzie, are we throwing the other two?
Alright, that's fine with me.
I do want to point out, as much as I don't like paying attention to physics, this is a standard-sized high-rise building. We're talking like 60 by 60 feet with complex hallways. You can't just throw them in a straight line. There are actually like walkways and stuff.
We can give them a head start.
Yeah.
I'll go to... Well, once we trigger all the valves, right, then the water will release?
No, the door to the other airlock will unlock.
Okay, so yes, I just have to go down to the end then. Okay.
Sounds like Max and Winston are going to the far one so they can get to the airlock quickly when they're done, and Queen and Sterling are taking the two closest to the airlock that you're already in. Is that correct?
I'd say Doc and Max go to the ones right inside the door, and Lizzie and Riley or Sterling go to the others.
Right, but if it takes a long time for us to trigger all four of them, then we'll die by the time we get to the door.
Then don't take long.
And of course, the one of you that has rocket boots has already got a large air supply and probably a better swimmer.
You forget, I have a little bit of the vapors right now.
Or I could just reach over there and grab it.
That's true. Max has to just get within 20 feet of it.
So we just put Max at the here and
Go phallic arm.
Both take Doc and run for the others.
Go hentai arm.
I'll just be over here on Team Weak Link for this one.
The one time I actually do something that's within my bailiwick, and you get upset and all.
Oh no, I'm actually quite proud of you. I'm actually just feeling very down on myself right now. Part of it has to do with the fact that I have a slight heart murmur.
Oh, is that all you can?
And Winston, inside of your chest, you hear tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock.
All right, so we've spent about 80 minutes of talking about it, and it's going to be like 30 seconds of doing.
I mean, that's just TTRPGs.
That's true. That's true.
Kind of reminds me of my sex life.
Oh, no.
Yeah, which of the plans that we've discussed are we going with?
I mean, above game, I don't have any particular plans for distance. I'm going to give the two people who are very athletic more dice to manage their air supply. But basically, there's going to be a roll to see how long it takes each of you to get to your valve. And that's going to determine how much air you burn on your clock. And then there's getting to the valve itself, and then there's getting from the valve to the airlock. That's basically how this is going to work. It is slow going through this facility. All amazing plans that basically equate to 4 of you each swim to a valve and flick it.
Would you let us plot our strategy?
Our demise?
No, our victory. We're gonna win. We're gonna be fine.
Are we?
Yes.
It's really a shame that one of you had a thing that could magically open doors hadn't broken it in the first encounter.
You know, you keep rubbing that in our face, disembodied voice.
You made fun of us when we had it and forgot about it, and now you make fun of us when we don't have it.
You're acting more like a Blade's stepdaddy than a Blade's daddy.
I just appreciate, as the narrator, that Jim voluntarily let it be broken when I wasn't going to.
Alright, so... Go, obscenely long arm.
Well, you do need to swim to get within 20 feet of it first, and there's like a bunch of winding pathways, because this is a habitat for crocodiles. It's not just an open concept office floor. So there are winding paths, and a lot of them have arbitrary swinging rotor blades, like every standard water level in every video game ever. They're just there for you to have to swim around and try not to die.
Of course.
As long as it's not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, that was a bugger underwater.
Oh yeah, there's also like random... Like, the same thing, even though electricity underwater would not work this way, but every video game level seems to have them. Those Tesla coil arcs that just produce a wall of electricity you have to wait for, and if you swim too close to them, you get zapped.
Of course.
I dislike you more and more, disembodied voice.
And when you say winding paths, you're talking about cubicles, right?
No, because this is a floor of an office building, but this is like a habitat for some crocodiles, so what it actually is like caves. They basically built these crocodiles, little pathways to swim in, and you have to navigate them.
This is horrible industrial design. Like, this is poor use of commercial space. I just have to say that, above board.
Has anyone ever heard of Mario?
Well, having water 52 floors above...
Yeah, that's the bigger question, is why did they build this aquarium on the 52nd floor of a high-rise located on the side of a mountain? Alright, so who wants to go first on the roll to see how much air you have before you get to your valve check?
Oh, I guess I can go.
Max roll 1d to see how much air, i.e. time, it takes you to get there.
I got a 1.
You are going to use 3 segments of your air clock.
Shit.
Oh, that's fine.
Shit.
There's that, but you do get there. And what you see is there are 2 crocodiles swimming around it in a circle, the valve. They're just going tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. You will be able to reach your arm in there, but you think they might notice you? Because all the switches have to be flipped at the same time, I'll say you have a safe position. They have not noticed you yet as the next person rolls.
Very good.
I can go.
You have 2d because you have lung capacity and strength. So go ahead and roll 2d to see how much air you use on your much larger air meter.
That's a 6 and a 2.
All right, with a 6, you burn 1 segment. Sterling's doing great. Same thing. You avoid all the rotary blades and Tesla walls, and there's just 2 crocodiles swimming. Tick tock, tick tock.
They make it look so easy. How do they do it?
I don't know. Let's try it.
Yeah, Sterling does make this look easy.
Lizzie will go next.
Lizzie also has 2D because she is strong now.
A 3 and a 1.
You had a 1 and a 3, that's still a failure, so you are going to burn 3 seconds of air clock. But you get to your corner, there are 2 crocodiles. The good Dr. Winston Thoreau, you are last, but not least.
So, if I'm down a dice for my level 2 harm, does that mean I'm rolling this with disadvantage?
I mean, I was going to say no, but at the same time, you are trying to do a vigorous physical activity with a heart murmur.
With a bad heart.
Yes, so go ahead and roll 2D and keep the worst result.
Gosh.
That's a 1.
You are going to use 3 of your 4 segments.
How did we get 3 1s? Fuck.
May the odds be ever against you.
Alright.
It's a dark god named Paul to get us.
Alright, so you've all gotten in position. You each need to figure out a way to get past the crocodiles and or distract them while you hit your switch. But you all through your radio and what I assume is some sort of Morse code of clicking because you can't talk without losing, like opening your mouth and swallowing a bunch of water, can communicate it's time to flick the knobs.
I believe I would like to try to attune to either the Tesla coils or the cybernetics in Clockodiles themselves to try to cause a malfunction, either by shocking them with the Tesla coils or by stopping the clock.
I like it. Alright, go ahead and roll a tune to try, and you'll only be able to get the 2 that are near you, but let's see what you can do.
That's a 5.
What happens is, you can get 1 of the 2 crocodiles. You can't get both of them with success. So, you hear the clock stop, and you hear a high whine sound kind of like muffled through the water, and there's a burst of electricity as the defibrillator built into that steampunk thing that's meant to keep it getting up every time it gets knocked down fries the thing's heart and brain and it is dead.
Alright, friendo, what happens to be your name? The police officer, I'm speaking to him with my brain thoughts.
Carl Winslow.
Carl, now that I've taken care of one of them, do you think that you should go press that button for me? Do it for Urkel, Carl.
He turns invisible because he's a ghost. Swims up and turns the knob.
No, do it for Urkel.
Stefan Urkel is a jerk. Not worthy of Laura Winslow.
Stefan Urkel was better in future iterations. The first laboratory batch of him was bad. Steve eventually fixed him. And then fused with him? It's a long story. We definitely do not have a Family Matters rewatch podcast in the works now.
On episode 6 already.
How about Lizzie go next? What do you do about your 2 crocodiles?
Let's wait till we start talking about the difference between the 2 aunts that happen. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, and then when Harriet gets replaced, and how Richie just managed to disappear from the show entirely. Alright, I'm stepping away now. Sorry.
I pull out the 2 blades that I have, and I run at them to stab them in their head.
Alright, roll skirmish.
5.
Alright, with a 5, you get one of them real good, and the other one kind of bumps you away, and you hear tick-tock, tick-tock, and it starts speeding up, tick-tock, 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 and the other one defibrillates. So it comes back to life, heals completely, but it is stunned at the moment, so you're only dealing with 1. What do you do about the other one? I will give you another chance to do something before it just chomps your arm off because it's a fucking crocodile.
I'm gonna punch it in its nose.
Oh, okay, you're gonna boop it in the snoot. Got it. Roll skirmish again. Boop in the snoot, not poop in the snoot.
I said boop in the snoot.
I heard poop.
Hitting it as it opened its mouth.
And then I said burp. I said boople snoot.
I hit it as it opened its mouth. I rolled a 1.
Paul only hears what he wants to hear.
Okay, with a 1, I'm gonna give you a devil's bargain, Lizzie.
Uh-oh.
This crocodile with a 1 is, when you go to boop it in the snoot, gonna chomp your hand off. You can take a worse position by moving away from your gear and for safety, but it will make everybody else have to redo their maneuvers if they're successful if you do that. Or you can just lose a hand.
I think I'll just lose a hand.
Are you booping with the hand that does or does not have your Pip-Boy?
Without the Pip-Boy.
You lose the hand with the Pip-Boy, so take a 3rd level harm for missing hand.
The fuck did I miss?
Lizzie tried punching an alligator in the face, rolled a 1, and had her hand bit off.
And now there's blood in the water for all the sharks that Paul's going to throw at us next.
Thanks, Winston.
Teacher, you didn't assign us homework.
I will go ahead and say Shadow, very diligently, while you were distracting the alligator, swam up and used his mouth to turn the valve.
Okay.
Lizzie, I will say this. You do have an option in Blades there to resist harm. What you can do is you can roll to resist. You roll a d6, and you take an amount of stress equal to the d6, and it lowers the level of harm. So you might just lose a finger and be like a level 1 or 2 harm if you want to try rolling a d6 and taking a bunch of stress.
Yeah, no, not doing that. I have no stress to give.
Very important question. Is she taken out of combat, or it's still okay to fight?
She is not. She is just bleeding profusely. You are going to need to stabilize her once she gets safely to the airlock.
Sterling, shut up.
I need to know for reasons.
So would you say this is more of a bone protruding from the stump, or
You
is
laugh
she just
now,
full on
but-
bleeding out, or...
One of these days, you'll be in a pickle and you'll understand.
Spoilers!
Anyway, that is Lizzie. Lizzie is still fighting a crocodile, but Shadow has pulled the lever. Sterling, this is going to be relatively straightforward for you. You have a bunch of air, and you are a clobbering machine. How would you like to deal with the crocodiles?
Activate my rocket boots and give a big rocket punch.
Alright, I'll give you a bonus die because you're using your rocket boots to go to Goku Super Dragon Fist the crocodiles. I'm going to say double clothesline because there's 2 of them.
Falcon punch. Is that 2, a 4, and a 6?
A 6 is a 6. You clothesline them. They are stunned. You do hear the ticking increase, and you get the impression that they are going to get back up. So, but you do pull your switch, no problem, while they're stunned, and you can start to swim away. That just leaves Max. Max, you are about 20 feet away. Do you want to do anything to distract them, or you just want to try and snake your arm in and pull the lever?
I release all the rats from my body.
All 86 of them or whatever you have left.
Does anybody have a D100 handy? I can fish one out otherwise.
I have 2 d10s. That's a 10 and a 9.
19 rats.
What did you do with 70 rats?
Well, I've got to eat sometime, right?
Jeez.
Alright, so there's just a bunch of dead rats floating around. These things do see fresh meat and eat them, so your arm can get through.
Yeah,
Fine.
it's fresh.
You sacrificed all of your rats to do it. I'm fine with that.
You sound depressed.
Now we really know who sacrificed the most here.
It's
out of
fine.
all 4 of us.
You flick your lever.
Of course.
You guys do that through some sort of psychic link because you can't talk while underwater, and Lizzie, bleeding out of an arm stump, is like, yep, Max used all those rats.
All gave some, but some gave all.
Exactly.
We can smell it. We can tell.
Probably offensive to somebody, so I'm sorry.
So offensive.
But hey, Lizzie, I have good news for you.
What's that?
Half-price manicures for life. Anyway, now you all just need to swim back. Or if I say back, I mean to the other airlock. So it's going to be another roll. Why don't we start with Sterling, because Sterling will not run out of air. It is a trivial roll. 2D, and that'll determine how much air you use.
Those are 3s.
Alright, you're going to need 3 air segments. I'm going to give you a devil's bargain. You can either go straight to the airlock and conserve your half-consumed air, or you can go to try and find one of your allies that might need assistance, because your alligators are stunned. They aren't fucking chasing you.
I'm gonna go for Doc.
Okay, so you get to Doc. Doc, you are now going to roll next to see how you do.
All right. 5 and a 4. Not too bad.
All right, you are going to use one air segment. You are not taking damage yet because you rolled a 5.
It's a 4 because I'm rolling with disadvantage.
Oh, never mind. All right, so are you taking 2 stress or are you taking a harm?
I'm going to take a harm.
I'm trying to think of... There's a word for when you inhale water.
Asphyxiation.
Oh.
Drowning?
No, drowning is when you are seriously injured from inhaling water. This is like, oh, hey, I inhaled some water and it just fucking hurts.
Is it aspirate?
Maybe? Anyway, yeah, you have like you inhaled a mouthful of water. So that is your level 1 harm.
I'm flooded.
Yeah, so to go great with your heart murmur.
Suddenly, Max isn't the weakest member. I'm looking rather sassy.
With Sterling's help, you do get you get to the airlock just fine. Max, who decided to brag about his mortality.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll 1d to see how you do getting back to the airlock.
1d6. I take a 1.
Max, you are going to fill 3 segments of your remaining 1 segment of clock.
Excellent.
You have 2 segments you cannot fill. So, would you like to take 2 stress or one of your available harms for each of them? Basically,
I'll take a harm. I don't have any of them. So, oh wait, no, I have 1. Sorry. So I have 2 harm now.
Mostly harmless.
So you can take a harm. That's one of the 2 segments you can't fill.
It's amazing. You all have just jumped into the line of fire so many times while I've just been standing there sipping coffee.
So you're now also flooded. You did take, however, there were 2 segments you could not fill. So you're going to take another harm or 2 stress?
I'll take a stress on this one.
2 stress, but yes.
Yes.
I looked up aspirate. I was right.
Good job.
Thank you. I knew there was a word for it, but it was escaping me. It's like a word I haven't heard since first aid in college.
Very up to date on my first aid stuff. It just was
Very
doubting
nice.
myself a little bit.
All right, Lizzie, are you going to stand your ground against this croc, or are you going to swim for like a bat out of hell?
I'm swimming like a bat out of hell.
All right, you are reduced to 1d because you're swimming with 1 arm. So, but you have a ton of air.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing, because I rolled a 1.
Side stroke.
You have 2 segments left on your air clock. Not a big deal. But, however, because you are swimming so slow, the gator is right behind you going tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. As Lizzie gets to the airlock, Sterling, you see that this gator is trying to bite her fucking feet off and she's already lost a hand. And you're the only person in condition to help.
I gotta go punch another croc.
All right, roll skirmish.
You say that like you don't want to do it.
I
Right?
do want to. It's hard to choose who to help. That's a 3 and a 4.
A 3 and a 4, so you're going to clobber the gator with a mixed success. It is going to go to chomp on you, but it's just going to, because you didn't like actively try punching it in the nose, it's just going to chomp on your shoulder. It's going to hurt like hell. Do you have a level 1 harm available still?
I got tasered and exploded.
Do you have a level 2 harm slot available?
Yes.
Alright, you are bleeding profusely. But you all get out of the airlock. Congratulations. And you are safe.
How dare.
Winston is down on the ground just vomiting seawater onto the ground.
Can I use my jacket to help Lizzie with the bleeding?
Roll finesse to try and do some medical shit.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Lizzie. That's a 1.
I will say you stop the bleeding so she will not take pervasive harm, but that's all you do.
We have to amputate Lizzie.
Sterling's pretty sure we have to amputate. Everyone's like, no.
Already gone.
It's already been amputated.
No, the other one.
You need to
We
cauterize.
have to
is what you
amputate
need
the
to do.
amputation.
Oh yeah, you actually have access to a rocket. You could cauterize the wound with your rocket boots.
But would you?
It will not use a charge in your rocket boot to say you did that. It's fine.
Do I want to do that with a 1, though? That seems risky.
No, the 1 was to see if you could actually just, like, stop the bleeding through medical stuff. You using a boot to just burn it sealed, it's just like, that's not going to make a roll. It's, you basically stop her bleeding somehow.
Okay, we stop the bleeding, and I'm going to watch for signs of shock or whatever.
Yeah, so, like, you all are very worse for wear. And you are, as you're trying to pick yourselves together, Max, roll 2D and give me the lower result, please. Because you have water in your lungs, and your lungs are several hundred years old, maybe.
Ooh, that's not good. 2d6. Ooh, both 4s.
You cough up a bunch of water, so your lungs no longer have water, and go ahead and clear that harm.
All right.
Bad news, though.
Bad news.
The stress of doing that, your heart stops beating. You go unconscious. You are dead.
Max? Max?
Blades in Paradise is Paul Kinter as Master of Ceremonies, Justin Langston as Maximilian Graves, Faith Queenie Long as Lizzie Calhoun, and Mel Riley as Sterling Ackred, and myself, Jim Remus, as Dr. Winston Thoreau. Dami Widener is our editor. You can directly support this show at patreon.com/bardrocknetwork, starting at just $3 a month. You can join us on Discord, you can come play games with us, we'll even send you network swag at the end of the year. You can visit our sponsor, Evil Hat Games, and use code BARDROCK10 to buy cool games like Blades in the Dark, and let them know we sent you. You can support the podcast for free by sharing us on social media, word of mouth, or rating and subscribing on your favorite podcatcher. Lastly, you support us just by listening. Thank you for listening, dear friends.